We've all heard it, right? Reading to a baby is incredibly important. But have you ever wondered what that moment really looks like from their point of view? Well, a groundbreaking new data set is finally letting us see the world through their eyes. And honestly, it could change everything we think we know about how humans learn. And just so you know where all this is coming from, everything we're about to talk about is based on this one paper, the Shared Book Reading Corpus, which was published in Nature Scientific Data. So this is the real deal, straight from the source.
So this gets us to the core question. You've got a parent, a baby, and a book. But what is the baby actually seeing? What captures their attention when a caregiver points to a picture and says the word dog? For so long, we've only been able to make educated guesses. But the era of guessing might just be over.
The breakthrough here is something called the Shared Book Reading Corpus. And you should know this isn't just another study. It's a whole new kind of tool, a massive library of data that's giving us a window into these super critical early learning moments.
So what is it exactly? Well, to put it simply, it's a huge open access collection of recordings. Researchers recorded 44 infants and their caregivers while they read a book together. The result is this absolute treasure trove of data that anyone, anywhere can now analyze.
Let's get into the specifics for a second. The study looked at 44 pairs in the UK. The babies were all between 13 and 14 months old, which is, a key time for connecting words to objects. And here's a fun detail. To keep everything consistent, they all read the very same book, the classic First 100 Words. Now, this is what makes it so special. This corpus is so much more than just a bunch of videos. We're talking high-quality audio, complete transcripts of everything the parents said, vocabulary tests for the infants, and even data that tracks every single time a baby pointed at something. It's an incredibly rich, multi-layered look at what's going on. And that brings us to the real game changer. The reason this is such a huge leap forward isn't just the amount of data. It's the absolutely revolutionary way they captured it. It's all about getting 3 different perspectives on the exact same moment. That's right, 3 unique viewpoints, all recorded at the same time to give us the most complete picture of this simple interaction that we have ever had. So here's how they did it. First, you have your standard camera, capturing the whole scene from the front. But then, and this is just brilliant, they put tiny, lightweight cameras on headbands worn by both the caregiver and the infant. For the very first time, we can literally see the same interaction from 2 first-person points of view. And when you compare those 2 views, it is just wild how different their worlds are. From the caregiver's camera, you see the baby's face, their reactions, the whole book. But the infant's view is this super immersive close-up world of pages and colors, and then a parent's hand swooping into the frame to point. They are not just sharing one experience. They are having 2 totally different visual experiences at the exact same time. And that's really the heart of it. Like the paper says, this gives us unique insights into infants' real-world visual experiences. We are no longer guessing what a baby is looking at. We are seeing it frame by frame exactly as it happens. Okay, this is amazing stuff, right? But having all this data is one thing. The real question is, what can we actually do with it? What doors does this open up? The potential here is just massive, and it spans across so many different fields. I mean, obviously, it's a goldmine for anyone studying language development or cognitive science. But it's also a huge new resource for researchers in AI, machine learning, and computer vision. Think about what we can now investigate. You could train an AI model using this baby's eye view data and see if it can learn words more like a human. We can analyze a baby's gaze to see exactly what they're looking at the very instant they hear a new word. We can finally get hard data on some of those big learning theories that until now have been almost impossible to truly test. All right, let's pull back and look at the big picture here. This is, without a doubt, a huge achievement for developmental science. But, like any groundbreaking study, it's also important to have a little context. The researchers are really clear that this first data set is a deep look into a pretty specific group. So future research will need to capture a wider range of families to get a more universal picture. And as you can probably guess, not every 13-month-old was thrilled about wearing a headcam, so some of that infant view footage isn't complete. Hey, that's the reality of doing research with toddlers.
But honestly, none of that takes away from the core breakthrough. We now have a powerful new way to look directly into the visual world of an infant as they learn. And it leaves us with a pretty profound thought. If we've just unlocked this new perspective on something as fundamental as reading, what other mysteries of the human mind are we now one step closer to solving?